Hi friends, this is Becky Lewis in Central Indiana, and friends, I have been trying for 2 weeks to get a video out to you, and it's been one thing after another. So if we have interruptions while I'm doing this video, I'll just have to pause and restart. If I have warnings pop up on the screen, I'll just have to cancel them out or whatever. I'm not going to worry anymore about the professionalism of putting out this video, about the sounds of my computer, about the warnings, about the interruptions. Friends, this just has to be done. So let's get on with it. This particular thing that I'm about to show you right now is from June 5th, and it's what I call the freak, but there's some other stuff in here too. So let's get on with it. Check this out. Okay, and I'm going to fast forward through some of the video as it gets to a part where I've just let the video set for a minute. So friends, check out these objects. Now, you should be able to see my cursor on the screen. This here is a complete, this whole thing is some sort of object. And then as you come back over here to the right where it's panning, this up here is an object that I call the freak. So wait till you see this. I'm going to just go ahead and fast forward once it starts getting to the point that I have paused the video, or not paused, but just let it run. Right here, you can see this cloud is moving this way, and this object is moving the other way. So I just want to fast forward through that so you can see that. So that's really all this video was. Both clips were just very short clips because the sun was so intense. I just couldn't stand being out there. So now I want to check this out. I want you to see these pictures. Mind you, this is a big massive object here, and this is a secondary object with it. So I've just gone through and done. Now check this out, friends. This is the one I call the freak. Look at this baby. Look at that. Is that freaking cool? Look at that sucker. That is one massive object right there. And it appears to have stuff with it. But look at the fur on it. And then this object is what was with it. But it actually appears to be traveling towards it. So, okay, well, I don't want to drag this particular one out. I just wanted you to see that. I've been trying to put these out for over 2 weeks, this one. And then this next one coming up. Oh, yeah, okay, so sorry about that. Stop on that. It restarted. I just have been going too many directions lately and haven't been getting this stuff done. So, I figure before sunrise is a good time. Okay, friends, next, check this out. Okay, this is the video I had originally done, but I'm keeping the sound off. I just want you to see this stuff. I had the whole video done the way I wanted it, but more considering what I had gotten, which I didn't realize what I had gotten. Now, friends, when I first started this video out, I was so blinded by the light and the heat, but look at these objects. I couldn't even really see much of what I was getting though. So you have at least two main objects right here, but look at the spherical nature of that one. Look at the debris trail that it's traveling in or creating itself. Now look, friends, I'm going to let the video just go ahead and play, and it'll come back to those other objects. But I want you to look, pay attention up in here and all down in here. All these system clouds are completely loaded with debris. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to fast forward if it doesn't get where I need it to. Okay, friends, check this out. Okay, you see all this stuff up in here? Those are all objects, all of those. Let me pause this. I want to show you clips from the other. I've got autotropic and black and white, and I really want you to see this. I know a lot of people don't care for the filters, but I greatly appreciate them because they bring this stuff out a lot more. But I especially wanted you to see the objects up here. And then let me fast forward to those. Look at this, friends. Look at all these objects. These are all of those. Every one of those appear to be objects. Appear to be objects to me. Okay? I don't know for a fact. There's nothing factual here without us actually going up in that sky where that thing is at and finding out for ourselves. So, okay, I'm just going to move on here for a second. And I want you to see this in the black and white. Okay, so this one is autotropic, or however people say it. It looks like an eyeball in there. It's so cool looking. Okay, so friends, check out all these objects. You can see them from an angle even, if they are in fact objects. And I'm going to move this up a little bit, and then I want you to see it in black and white. I may just go back and let that first video play on. I'm going to go ahead and fast forward this a little bit. I want you to see those objects, the trail of them. Look at this thing. This thing is very cool, whatever it is. Here it comes again. Let me go back to the original first. I really want you to see all these different ones, friends, but if I play the whole thing in autotropic or black and white, then a lot of people don't want to see it. I just don't know what's the right thing to do, so I just want you to see these different things, friends. Okay, here's this bit in black and white. Look at those objects. Look at all this. I don't know if you want to call it oxide dust or trails. People can call it whatever they want. Without being up there ourselves and testing the material, friends, there's just no way to know for a fact what any of this stuff is, what its components are, what its chemistry is. But I'm certain that somebody knows. Look at all those objects, friends. Look at all of them. Now, mind you, this was done on June. This one was done on June 8th, I believe, 2 days after the freak. So I know a lot of people have been recording falling debris in the skies. So I'm not sure if this was some of those objects or what. I just know there's a lot of it. A lot of it. Look all up in there. Look at all that. And all these major sized objects. If that is in fact what they are. I should say they look like objects to me. Look at this. Look at this stuff trailing back. It all appears to be trailing stuff. Okay, so I'm going to go back to the original. Pardon me. Go back to the original here. I just want you to see this thing right here before I show it to you in original. Excuse me. Isn't that cool looking? that. I mean, to me, it looks like this object is either has traveled and gone down into this hole or whatever it is, or there's an object here that's smoking its trail and coming up with the rest and blowing back. Look at the feathery bit on that. And this object down here, there's just a lot of it, friends. Just a lot of it. Look at all those objects. Dang. Look at that. Oh my goodness. There's just so much. Okay, well, let me go back to the original video. I want to just go ahead and play this original. I think I might just let it play through, and then we'll go back to the other ones. That way I'm not flipping back and forth. Excuse me. So, friends, whatever all this stuff is up there, whatever it is, it has become more abundant, larger, and much more apparent, even to those who are not sky watchers. There's just so much going on in our skies. So, time to really pay attention now. And friends, I would highly, highly encourage you, whatever it is that you're doing in your life, please stop and take some time and spend with family and friends. Check out this object, friends. There's also one right here next to it. Look at these large objects. Look at that. Look at those large objects. Check out this bowl thing, whatever. Look at this object going. It's either down in the hole smoking and coming out, or it's something that's traveled and gone down into this whole area right here. I thought that was so fascinating. Look at that, friends. That's incredible. Watch all these objects up here, starting with this big mega one right here, and then all these objects all appear to have trails going behind them. Up in here. Look at all that. See, to me, it looks like debris. But again, without proof, we don't know anything for a fact until something comes down. But considering that we've had things coming down, look at all that, friends. Look at all these objects. Every one of these things. And unfortunately, I did not see, when I was filming, I could not see a thing. And if I was playing the original audio, that's what I was saying on here. Basically is that I can't see what I'm getting, and until I go and play it on the computer, I can't see what I've gotten because the sun was blinding me so badly. Now, friends, check this out. Check out this thing that looks like a webbed foot or something like that. This section, this whole section right here, had I realized what I was getting, I would have just left the video run on that so that we could see the process. Because as I pan away and go back later, this hand-looking thing actually is tipped up on its side. So there is some sort of an object in there that is creating movement. But unfortunately, I didn't keep the camera on there long enough to watch the entire process. So this is for future reference. When I find something very cool like this, I may just plant the camera on it and keep my eye on it. But that is just some fascinating stuff right there. And look how its trail is connected in behind this large blob of whatever it is. I just found this whole thing so fascinating. So what I'm going to do, friends, because I can't play the entire video clips of all three of these for you without taking too long, I will post the links to the full play of each one of these videos in the description. I just really wanted you to see this. So, but look how this thing is already tipped up just in the time that I looked around a little bit and came back. And what a shame that I didn't notice that, you know, and keep my camera on that. But there's just so much here, friends. I'm going to go ahead and fast forward through this just a little bit. And as I said, I will have links to all 3 of these videos for anybody who wants to pause or just watch the whole thing. Look at that. This thing is already tipped up even more down there. Darn, I'm kicking myself for that. But friends, look at all these objects. Seeming objects. They certainly appear to be objects to me and thousands of other people. But again, you know, without the absolute proof, I don't know. But we do see objects coming down. We have all kinds of things going on out there. So I wanted you to see this seeming debris field, especially considering that we had all those objects coming down right in around this time on, I believe it was June 8th. Look how tiny this airplane can. That's what I was showing in the verbal part that I've cut out. The airplane is so tiny compared to these things. Look at this thing already standing up, though, friends. I just wish I kept my camera on that to see the whole process, but and I didn't even notice when I was looking at it that it was changing. I just was panning back and forth looking at things because I couldn't see too well. The sun was glaring in my eyes so bad, and I was trying to hide in the shade, but it just wasn't working too well. Look at this stuff, friends. And I'm going to hop over to the other stuff after I let this play, and I'll just kind of flip through it real quick so that you can see some of that in black and white and autotropic. So, and this thing right here, I got some pictures of this. This thing is very cool looking. But look at the process on this. It's already changed completely, and what used to be that hand looking thing over there is completely out of the shape that I found it in. So that would have been an excellent thing to watch right there. And see what happened to the object. Look at the curve on this thing, and there's just so much in there, friends. Wait till I get to the pictures of this. I want to show you. So I want to get moving here. I don't want this to take too long. Look at this major object right here. This is one major object in here. That whole dark block right there, and all those bits. Another chunk up there. Okay, so moving on to the next clip. Look at these 2 major objects right here. Big size blocks, if you want to call them that. See how the angle of the cloud is going around it? I'm sorry, but my camera's blurring. I'm waiting on my new one. It should be here today. I'm going to get a replacement for the one I'm using because I'm used to it and I like it. It's the Nikon Coolpix L830. Now I'll show you these objects in pictures. You can clearly see where this cloudish material is on the formed edges of the outside of that. I'm just going to go ahead and flip through here a little bit. Look at that, friends. And I know it's not very clear. It's also not clear because whatever that haze is up there blocks it from clarity. Okay, so this should be like the final clip. Yeah, the final clip. And then I want to go to those other ones and show you, flip through in autotropic and black and white. Okay, and then that was the end of it for many hours until later in the evening. A few little pieces more came around, but that was it. So, okay, I'm going to go ahead and flip through here. Yeah, that was it. Okay, friends, I want to go back to the black and white and autotropic. Yes, and by the way, the title of this video, Nibiru System Clouds, Debris and Large Objects, zero doubt, friends. There is zero doubt in my mind of what we're looking at. Okay, so I'm just going to flip through here real quick and get to the main places I wanted you to see. So this is one of them, Photographic. Look at that. There is an actual something right there, and I don't know if it's, pushing up smoke debris and it's getting blown back or what. Again, I would have loved to have seen this whole process of this hand thing. Okay, let me flip through here. I want you to see these objects up here. Look at all these trailing. There's multiples, friends. There's 15 or 20 of them at least up there, and I didn't get a clear enough shot long enough to count them properly, but there's quite a few up there for sure. Look at that stuff. Now, are those actual objects, or are they just a puff of cloud trailing stuff behind? To me, it looks like debris with trailing dust. Does it mean that's what it is for an absolute fact? No, but that is certainly what it looks like to me. This thing just fascinates me, friends. This section right here. I am just so fascinated by it. Look at this. Look at this. That's just in movement since the first time around that I looked at it. And this, yes, and I have it on pause. This thing right here, whatever is in there, appears to have this smoky trail coming out of it. And friends, something else I noticed too, is these objects all connect to each other. They all seem to have some kind of thing that connects to the next thing. And if this system truly is highly magnetic, we don't know how magnetic these clouds are or anything, but we do know that people are being affected emotionally, and animals are being affected, and friends, not just emotionally either. I know a lot of people who have different medical issues that have been cranked up so high during the presence of these system clouds and their objects. But look how the trails connect, and as I go through, if you start to notice and or in pictures, that these objects all connect to each other one way or another, it seems. Especially when there's more than one around, or they're in a collection like this, they all seem to have some kind of attachment to something else. I just find that so fascinating. Especially if it's electromagnetic, you're going to have all these different little poles connecting to each other everywhere they go with everything they pass. I just find that just so fascinating. Okay, well friends, like I said, I'll put the entire video of all three, or actually all four of these clips, I'll make them available. But look how this thing is already tilting up now. I so wish I would have seen that, friends. Okay, well let me get through here. Pretty much just really wanted you to see the main objects through the autotropic, but also the main big chunk up here, and this curvy trail that's got all those seeming debris bits in them. Look at that thing. That is just so cool. Look how many changes it's already made just in a couple of minutes. So next time, and when I get my new camera and I don't have to fool with the tripod with rubber bands and all that, friends, I've been using my camera on a tripod with rubber bands for months, and it's highly annoying, and it takes too much time, and then when my batteries run out I have to disassemble the whole thing. So I'll just be so glad to get my new camera and all that. But friends, I just really wanted you to see these things. Not out of fear, okay? Not out of fear. I am completely and totally fascinated with these objects, and I feel so grateful to be here, friends. Very grateful to be able to see these things with my own eyes and feel it with my body and experience what other people are going through. Not out of pleasure, just the most fascinating journey. Wow, did you see that? Let me back that up. Look at that little white thing going through. Whatever it was. It could have just been something floating off of. There it goes. Now I just backed it up. Huh. Okay, well I must have just fast forwarded. Anyway, there was some kind of white thing flying through there. Now look farther on up, friends, and back up one more second. This thing has turned into like two bowls instead of the one bowl with that hand thing. It's turned into two open sections. I think that's fascinating too. This whole thing is just fascinating. Friends, look at that. Oh my gosh. Look at this thing up here. Look at it almost looks like a weird face thing or something like that. You'll see in the pictures. Okay, well let me move on to black and white. Again, you can see this whole thing. Oh yeah, I want you to see these objects. Okay. Pause. Look at how these follow the contours. You see the debris field around here, if you want to call it the oxide dust or whatever. There's another object here. It's like there's two objects stacked on top of each other, traveling together. You can see all this material. And again, we have the connection. Always the connection. Hopefully once I get my new camera, I'll have better clarity again, the way I used to on this one. But look at that. You can see those two objects. Let me fast forward through here. I just thought that was so fascinating. So I'm going to show you some pictures here in a minute. I'm trying not to make this too long, friends. I know that these things can go long. So if you need to, you know, stop and watch the rest later. It's taking too much time to even get to making videos right now. So I just don't have time to do all the editing and all the stuff that I was doing before. Okay, well that's good enough. I want you to see the black and white. Look at that. So then you have all these, let me back up again. You have all these objects, seeming objects, with all their trails going behind them. Every last one of them has like a trail going behind it, if it is in fact objects or debris, whatever you want to call it. Looks like it to me. So I'm going to fast forward through here. There you go. Look at that. Again, these will be available. You can turn them on and pause them or do whatever you want with them, friends. Look at that. Daggone, man. And there's that hand thing. This is just so cool to me. That is just so cool. If I ever see anything like that again, I'll be sure and watch it. Let me pause that for a second. Look at this connection coming out here with yet another object. Always trailing, always connected. Everything is always connected. Fascinating. So, to chemtrail people, these are not chemtrails, okay? And to cloud people, these are not clouds. I had somebody come to me on my last video and say that there was historical reference for these kind of clouds. Well, I would love to see that. There might be historical reference for clouds with wispy edges, which is normal under certain circumstances, but friends, these aren't just wispy little edges. We're talking about a mega amount of stuff, every one of these things connected. And if these were chemtrails, they'd be in a line, they'd spread all out, and even with the new technology, with the disbursement, they're not going to make, excuse me, solid-looking objects within them. And they're not going to send themselves around in certain falling patterns, all connected to other things. Okay, look at this. I mean, and those certainly aren't regular clouds. And for people that think they are, I can't do anything to change your mind. If this looks like a normal cloud to you, you're either under 25 or you've never watched the skies your whole life to think these are regular clouds. And I mean no offense by that, but it's just like an absolute ridiculous amount of crazy in these skies. So okay, well, I want to get through here. Look, oh, look at this. Look at how these little sections just kind of come down over the side of this shelf. I thought that was fascinating. The whole thing is fascinating to me, friends. Now look at the changes in this. Already tipped up here. So okay, moving on here. I really want to get to the pictures real quick after I show you just a few passes through here, but please do go back and watch those, friends, if you want to, if you want to see it more, or pause it or whatever. So okay, look at that. That is just so cool. Look how this has tipped up. And the object that was down in here seems to have changed its pattern too. So, and this major object up here, I wanted you to see in the black and white. But wait till you see the pictures, friends, which I'm taking too long to get through. So, okay, well, I'm going to stop this, and I will leave these in the description for anybody that wants to see them, but I really wanted you to see the pictures. And I'll try to go through them kind of quick. So here we go. This is where I opened up with the video. You've got these major two objects right here, and this excuse me, this fluff of a debris field, if you want to call it that. Here is black and white. And some of the pictures I put in here, I was originally just going to make this a video, so some of them do have arrows. Now this is from the sun, from this picture right here. Look at all these little objects up in here, friends. Whole bunch of little objects around there. Moving on. As I said, this was set up for just being a video, so I was pointing out that major sphere right there, obviously. And this, obviously, right here, is another object. Seems obvious to me. And all these other debris. Okay, so here we go. This is where I was pointing out from the larger perspective. You can see, friends, you can see that sphere right there. That one, and then that chunk. And then there's also stuff down in here that I am pointing out in another picture. I want to move on. And this is a different sun picture. So this one has also got objects. Okay, this sun shot right here. Here we go, more whatevers they are. There's the two objects up here again, and more stuff down in here. And these I didn't even finish pointing out, but there's still, like I said, there's stuff down in here. But look at all these objects, friends. And of course you can pause the video anytime and go back and look. Just wanted you to see it without the arrows. Brighter light. This I kept in here, even though you can't really see much of what I'm trying to show you in this, but I kept this one because I want you to see that little spot right there. Here it comes. These are just processes. Some of these are processes of my camera that I go through for lighting. But check this out. Check out this couple of little things right here. Obviously they're distorted now after using light and contrast, but I just wanted you to see that. It's like this little spherical object with a cloud around it, and whatever this is seems to be producing its own light, but it could just be a reflection of the sun. So check this out. This is that object I was pointing to you earlier and said how cool it is. Look at it. Looks like a critter. There's that double bowl now that used to be the one bowl looking thing with the hand next to it. But check out these objects. It almost look like a barrel or something like that. That's pretty trippy. Isn't that cool? But you can see all the dark blobs in there, which to me appear to be solid objects. Now check this thing out, friends. This was that thing I was telling you about with that large object and this cool face looking thing. Check this out. Look how the different lighting brings out different bits. Excuse me. Watch the progress of the different changes of lighting here. Look at that. Look at that, friends. You can see how much is actually around this object that you can't normally see just with the regular colors and lighting. But I thought that was fascinating. But this thing almost looks like a curved head with its tail going back around. And now listen, friends, I'm not one of those people that like points out critters in the clouds. I know a lot of people see them. I normally don't, but there's been some stuff lately that even I have to admit is just pops right out at you, looks like certain things. But again, for me, that's matrixing, because I don't see these as living creatures the way some people do. And I don't begrudge the people that do, because everybody is experiencing this system differently, friends. We cannot begrudge people of their experience and what they say they see. But on the other hand, people do not see what we see the way we see it. So if you're trying to point something out to people and they don't see it, then friends, they don't see it. To get mad at someone or to lose friendships over something that somebody can't see is just asinine to me. And I have lost friends on YouTube over the 3 years that I've been doing this because of people that say they say certain things and they're trying to point it out to me and I don't see it, and they get mad and they think I'm some kind of shill because I don't see their dragon or their whale or their horse or their giant. I don't see that stuff, friends. And if the day comes that I do, then I will. But that's just not my experience with this system, okay? And that is not to say that it's not a completely energized and seemingly living system, okay? Because I know, and I've had my own experiences with the life in here, okay? But I don't see objects the way people do. So please don't get mad at me if I don't see your whale, your giant, your dragon, your horse, your people. There's a lot of things out there people see that I don't. So please don't get mad at me for that, because that is just not my experience, okay? Moving on. Taking down more light. Look at the density of this and how it follows around this object. And you can see, to me anyway, it looks like there's actual other debris in there. Excuse me. That's that same section, obviously. Look at that, friends. Look at the light changes, how it brings out more of the fluff around it, or debris field, or whatever you want to call it. Okay, check this out, friends. This is not the original. The original is farther ahead here. But look at this. The sun looks like it's sitting on a bubble cloud, or there's some object underneath there that's reflecting that strange kind of light. This is the original shot right here. But look at that. Look at this weird stuff that it seems to be. The light is reflecting against, making it look like the cloud sitting on a cloud of bubbles. Isn't that something? So I'm just going to go ahead and flip through these pictures real quick, and then if you want to, you can go back and pause them. Check this one out. Once I put it into the high contrast monochrome. Check this out, this part. Look at this object right here with its own little trail just shooting back. And again, friends, everything is connected in this system. Look at that. It's one thing or another is connected to one thing or another. Check out this. This is cool once I take down the light. Look at that. All these different objects. You've got them all through here. So I'll leave you to look at the arrows yourselves later if you want to pause it or look back, but here I remove the arrows so that you can look without. There's just some fascinating stuff all through here. And this thing right here I thought was so cool that I zoomed in on it and did some other pictures, but I didn't see this when I was doing the pictures. So here we go. We'll get closer on that. Look at that. Isn't that fascinating? I think it's beautiful. Just really intriguing stuff. Okay, moving on. So here it is larger. Is that cool? To me, I just think that is so beautiful and crazy. Even larger. Yes, I got fascinated with this little twisty thing for some reason, but look at that. Looks like a major chunk of something up here, but again, it's all connected. It always has some kind of a connection. Okay, here comes these other two large block things. Okay, this was the original shot right here, and that's a camera process of cutting out light. Oh no, it wasn't. I'm sorry. You can see with the A here, this is something I did in my computer, so that's the original shot there. Wait, I want to go back because I'm trying to point this out. Look how this follows the contours, and this chunk here has all this stuff. But again, friends, connection, connection, connection. Every one of these things are connected to each other or to something else. And this is that, this was the first shot. So, okay, well, I'm done with the pictures. Friends, so what do you think? Let me know what you think. I will link all of these things in the description for you to watch separately or whatnot, and just let me know what you think, because I'm at a standstill in my own thinking in this stuff, friends. I just don't know, you know, I don't know what any of this stuff is for an absolute fact. To me, it appears to be debris and chunks, and we've got these major bodies going overhead. What do you call that? I mean, it's not clouds, and it's not chemtrails. These are nothing like clouds that we grew up with, friends, and they certainly aren't like chemtrails where they come along and spray them, and those spread out and then turn into a hazy sky and all that junk falling down. These are not like that at all. But of course, your opinion is your own, and mine is mine. But we're all learning and growing together, friends. So just keep loving and lifting other people, and do your best to live your life as much as you can without falling into a fear hole and not doing anything about the rest of your life. Friends, we don't know what this is, We don't know. This could go on by us and not cause any more problems than it already has. Or it could. But either way, if you're living your life in fear every day, pumping your head full of fearful things, watching the stuff that's, always pushing that everything is so fearful and all this, friends, then you're going to live in fear, and it's going to affect your whole life. There's just no doubt about it. There's no doubt about it. Our mind, whatever we're living inside of, is going to put us in a state of mind for the rest of everything we're dealing with. So, anyway, I'm going to go ahead and play that so it'll stop circling, because that drives me crazy. So, friends, let me know what you think. And I'm sorry to say I cannot really get to very many comments right now. It's spring. Well, it's moving into summer now, but it's berry season and garden season, and I'm 5 months behind. So I don't have a lot of time for this stuff, and I'm sorry this video wasn't done professionally the way I had originally intended, but I just had to get it done because I was having so many challenges with the computer and with this and that. So, and sorry about all the racket, but this computer's old, and the screen capture picks up all the noise of the computer. So, but anyway, friends, you let me know what you think. I really appreciate your time, and I'm going to have to close this down by going out and going down to the bottom because my keypads don't work properly either. So, okay, friends. Well, thank you. And you guys have a good day. Much love. Bye for now.